Hello everyone, a warm and cordial welcome on behalf of KBM classes. I am B. Tripathi and today we are going to discuss about the sentence. Generally, a group of words having a complete sense is called a sentence. A group of words. A group of words having a complete sense is called a sentence. Generally, the meaning of sentence is a group of words having a complete sense is called a sentence, or a group of words when they are defining something or they are giving a specific meaning, that is called a sentence. So, if we are writing going, the boy is to school. This line is also a group of words, but it is grammatically incorrect because this line is not giving a complete meaning or it is not defining a complete sense. But if we are writing the boy is going to his school, it is a sentence because it is giving a specific meaning or it is defining something. Something what? The boy is going to his school. It is grammatically correct. So, it is a sentence. A group of words arranged in a specific order and giving a complete meaning or sense is called a sentence. So, we have to remember these points, these 3 points. The words are arranged in a definite order, which means subject plus verb. Later on we will discuss about the definite order in a great detail. Subject plus verb gives some meaning or sense. The group of words arranged in a specific order which give some meaning or sense begins with a capital letter. All these criteria come within the domain of a sentence. So, what is the clear definition of a sentence? A sentence is a group of words which expresses a statement, a question or a command. A sentence usually a subject and a verb. A sentence has a capital letter at the beginning and a full stop or a question mark or an exclamation mark at the end. If we are writing which class are you in? Which class are you in? Or if we are writing what a beautiful sight is. Here, look at this sentence. Here the sentence ends with a question mark. What a beautiful sight is. Here the sentence ends with an exclamation mark. This is also a sentence, this is also a sentence. Because this sentence gives a particular meaning. Which class are you in? What a beautiful sight is. So, a sentence begins with a capital letter and it ends with a full stop or a question mark or an exclamation mark at the end. The English sentence begins with a capital letter and ends with a full stop or a question mark or an exclamation mark. So, a group of words having a complete sense or defining a complete meaning, that is called a sentence. And the words must be arranged in a specific and definite order, and a sentence usually consists of a subject and a verb. An English sentence consists of a subject and a verb, and a sentence has a capital letter at the beginning, and the sentence ends with a question mark or a full stop or an exclamation mark, and a English sentence must end with a full stop or a question mark or an exclamation mark. So look at the sentences written above. Here are the examples. Flowers are beautiful. It is a sentence. What is your name? It is a sentence. Please sit down. It is the sentence. Alas, I am completely ruined. It is also a sentence. But the structure of each and every sentence is quite different. You mark towards the example. Flowers are beautiful. Here the subject is flowers. Verb is are. We put a full stop at the end of the sentence, and here F is capital letter. Flowers are beautiful. In the second sentence, W is the capital letter. We put a question mark at the end of this sentence, and the question begins with a question word. What is the question word? What? It means question word or WH word. In the third sentence, please sit down. Here the subject is you. In the sentence number 3, the subject is you, but the subject you is not mentioned here. The subject you is not mentioned here. We are not writing you please sit down. We are writing just please sit down. It is also a sentence. And in the sentence number 4, alas, I am completely ruined. Here we put a mark of exclamation at the end of this sentence. So when we are writing a sentence, generally a sentence begins with a capital letter. F is capital, W is capital, P is capital, A is capital. We write a sentence with a capital letter at the beginning, and at the end of a sentence we can put a full stop, we can put a question mark, or we can put a mark of exclamation also. All these 4 are all sentences because these 4 give a complete meaning, defining something, a complete sense. So all these 4 are called sentences. All these are sentences. So the basic structure of this sentence, what is your name? In this sentence, you mark that the sentence and its structure is such as WH word or question word plus auxiliary verb or helping verb. Subject. It is the basic structure, and we are putting a question mark at the end of this sentence. WH word is what? It may be called question word also. Is helping verb or auxiliary verb. Subject, question mark at the end of this sentence. Please sit down. Here you is not mentioned, but the subject is you. Alas, I am completely ruined. It is exclamatory sentence. Thus, we are putting a mark of exclamation at the end of this sentence. So, we can divide the sentence into 2 major types, simple and multiple. Simple sentence and multiple sentence. Further, multiple sentence is divided into 2 major types, compound sentence and complex sentence. So let us discuss about simple sentence. Suppose I am writing green mangoes taste sour. So you are sure. Look at the sentence. Generally, a simple sentence has only one clause. And that clause is independent clause. So what is a clause? A clause is a group of words. A clause is a group of words. It has a subject and a verb. A clause can be a sentence, or a clause can be a part of a sentence. A clause is a group of words. A clause has a subject and a verb. A clause can be a sentence. A clause can be a part of a sentence. So simple sentence has only one clause. Simple sentence has a subject. Simple sentence has a finite verb. So a finite verb is that type of verb. We can use a finite verb in the present tense or the past tense. We can use a finite verb in the present tense or past tense. So look at the example. Green mangoes taste sour. Here the subject is green mangoes. Green mangoes is the subject. Taste is the verb. Taste is the verb and finite verb. Mark, here taste has been used in present simple. Finite verb, we can use finite verb in present tense, we can use finite verb in past tense also. So simple sentence consists of subject in the noun group and a finite verb in the predicate part of this sentence. Green mangoes taste sour. In the noun group of this sentence there is a subject. In the predicate part of this sentence there is a verb which is finite verb, and it is an independent clause. Independent clause, which means that this sentence can stand by its own. It cannot depend upon others. This clause stands by its own and gives a proper definition and a specific meaning. That is why this sentence is a simple sentence. So, if we are summarizing, a simple sentence has a subject, a simple sentence has a finite verb, a simple sentence consists of an independent clause, and when we are writing a simple sentence, we are beginning the sentence with a capital letter at the beginning and with a full stop at the end. So simple sentence is further divided into four types: declarative sentence, interrogative sentence, imperative sentence, and exclamatory sentence. Declarative sentence generally reports facts, states something, or defines a particular fact. This is why It is called declarative sentence, or we may call it assertive sentence. All these sentences are the examples of declarative sentence, and all these sentences report fact or define something. Birds fly, I feel cold. Boys play cricket. The teacher asked the students some questions. The members elected him president. I thanked him for his help. All these sentences are called declarative sentence or assertive sentence, because all these sentences are statements, and there is a basic pattern or definite order when we write declarative sentence. So what is the basic pattern? Let us see. Birds fly. Birds, subject, and fly, verb. And here fly is intransitive verb. So the first basic pattern is subject plus verb. Here fly is intransitive verb. Intransitive verb. In the second sentence, I feel cold. I, subject, feel, verb, cold, complement. So the second type of basic pattern is subject plus verb plus complement. The third sentence is boys play cricket. Boys, subject, play, verb, cricket, object. So the third basic pattern is subject plus verb plus object. In the sentence number 4, the teacher asked the students some questions. The teacher, subject, asked, verb, the students, object, some questions, object. Here asked is ditransitive verb, because there are two objects in this sentence, the students and some questions. So here the basic pattern is subject plus verb, and here asked is ditransitive verb, ditransitive verb, plus indirect object plus direct object. The members elected him president. The members, subject, elected, verb, him, object, and president is complement. So the fourth basic pattern of declarative sentence is subject plus verb plus object plus complement. I thanked him for his help. I, subject, thanked, verb, him, object, for his help, adverbials. So the sixth pattern is subject plus verb plus object plus adverbials. So here are the basic pattern, or here are the main patterns of declarative sentence. So the second type of declarative sentence is interrogative sentence, and interrogative sentences are generally used to ask questions. Mark towards the examples. Has he done the work? And when did you come? There are two types of interrogative sentences. The first one is interrogative sentences used by WH words or question words. And the second one is yes or no questions. Yes or no question words. And here is the example. When did you come? When, WH word, did, verb, you, subject, and come, main verb. WH word means which, when, where, etc. These are called WH words. So the basic pattern of this sentence is WH word plus auxiliary verb plus subject plus main verb. When is the WH word, did is the auxiliary verb, you is the subject, and come is the main verb. In the first sentence, has is the auxiliary verb, he is the subject, done, main verb. So the basic pattern of this sentence is auxiliary verb plus subject plus main verb. So in the interrogative sentence, auxiliary verb is used before the subject, and in the WH question words, WH words are used before the auxiliary verb, and then auxiliary verb is used before the subject. So there are two basic patterns. The first pattern is auxiliary verb plus subject plus main verb. The second pattern is WH word or question words, auxiliary verb plus subject plus main verb. So the third type of declarative sentence is imperative sentence, and imperative sentence is used to express, imperative sentences are used to express command, request, advice, and suggestion. Imperative sentences are used to express command, request, advice, and suggestion. If I write march on soldiers, lend me your book, please. Work hard to pass the examination. Let her play with us. Let me ride the motorbike. So these are some of the examples of imperative sentences. Let us analyze. March on soldiers. Here the army chief is commanding to the soldiers. Here the army chief is commanding to the soldiers, march on. It is an imperative sentence. This sentence indicates commanding. Lend me your book, please. Lend me your book, please. Here I am requesting him to lend me his book. So I am requesting. This indicates request. This is also an imperative sentence. Work hard to pass the examination. Here the teacher is advising his students to work hard in order to pass the examination. It implies advice. It is also an imperative sentence. Let her play with us. Let her play with us. Let me ride the motorcycle. In these two sentences, the concept of suggestion comes. Let her play with us. I am suggesting them that she should play with us. Let her play with us. Sentences number 1 to 3. The subject is not mentioned here, and here the subject is you. Here you, the subject is not mentioned, but it is expressed. In these two types of sentences, when we write an imperative sentence and we are using let at the beginning of the sentences, the person at the sentence will be of first person or third person, and in these two sentences subject is not omitted and subject is expressed. When we are using let at the beginning of a sentence, the sentence will be in the first person or in the third person. Here her, third person, me, first person. So in the imperative sentences, generally we are trying to express a command, a request, an advice or a suggestion. And in imperative sentences, the subject is not mentioned, but the subject is you. The meaning of you is expressed. And when we are using or we are writing let at the beginning of an imperative sentence, the sentence will be in the first person or in the third person. And the last type of declarative sentence is exclamatory sentence. Exclamatory sentence is generally used to express surprise, sorrow, joy, and disapproval. Exclamatory sentences are used to express surprise, sorrow, joy, and disapproval. Suppose I am writing how beautiful the rain is. In the first sentence, how beautiful the rain is. The natural scenario and the sight is very beautiful. I got astonished by the natural scenario, and I am writing how beautiful the rain is. Here this sentence is indicating surprise. It is an exclamatory sentence. Sorrow. Alas, his father is dead. My friend's father died, and I am expressing sorrow. I am unhappy. So I am writing, alas, his father is dead. This sentence is expressing unhappiness and sorrow. It is also an exclamatory sentence. Hooray! We won the cricket match. We won the cricket match. So we are glad enough. We are happy. We are joyful. Hooray, we won the cricket match. This sentence is defining joy, a joyful state of mind. It is an exclamatory sentence. Shameful, fie upon you. I am disapproving something. I am not agree with his statement. I am not agree with his deeds. So here this sentence is indicating my disapproval. It is an exclamatory sentence, and we are putting a mark of exclamation. We are putting a mark of exclamation at the end of exclamatory sentences. We are putting a mark of exclamation at the end of an exclamatory sentence. So exclamatory sentences are expressed for surprise, sorrow, joy and disapproval. And the main thing is exclamatory sentences have no negative form. That means these sentences cannot be written in a negative form, but declarative sentence has a negative form, imperative sentence has a negative form, WH question words or yes no question words or interrogative sentences has a negative form, but exclamatory sentences cannot be inflected into negative form. So today we have discussed about sentences, its various types. It is the first lecture of the English grammatical chapter, the sentence. If you have any doubts, you can write your doubts in the comment section or comment box. Today we have discussed about English sentence, its various types, and about simple sentences and the various types of simple sentences. In the next lecture, we will discuss about compound sentence and complex sentence. So today I am concluding my lecture here. See you in the next lecture.